Hello loves, let's make this Batman cake from start to finish. If it's a bit noisy in the background, I'm sitting outside. So if you've watched my shorts, then you have seen this Topper Tuesday. These are all going to be sitting on top of the Batman cake. Actually, this one right here is going to be on the front. You know, for the longest time, I didn't know that Batman had nothing to do with Marvel. Batman and Superman. So for things that are going to stick out on the cake, I usually put them on pieces of wire, but I put the wire in straws, so that way the wire isn't touching the cake. All right, let's fill this baby up. So she wanted a vanilla for the bottom tier with the ever so popular cookies and cream. And remember when I told you guys I couldn't find the Jell-O pudding cookies and cream boxes anymore? Like, nobody was making them. I'm like, what in the heck is going on? And cornstarch. Why is there no cornstarch anywhere? I did end up finding the other day and I bought like 3. Anywho, yes, work smarter, not harder. I did make cookies and cream from scratch before, where I make the whipped cream from scratch and I add crushed Oreos, but the Jell-O version of Oreo cookies and cream is delicious. And no, there is no gelatin because it is just Jell-O pudding. So after I filled this baby up, I popped it in the freezer for a little bit before I went ahead and iced it. And now we're working on the top tier, which is chocolate, also with cookies and cream. I'm telling you guys, it's like my most popular flavor. Everybody wants it. And I personally do love chocolate with cookies and cream. Actually, I love marble. I don't know why, but the marble cakes turn out a little more moist than the regular chocolate and vanilla. I believe this was also a shorts video, just sped up, showing you guys how I basically cover a cake in fondant. And I wanted to cover these 2 cakes in fondant because I was going to airbrush them. Actually, if you've seen my other short video in which I admitted that I was being a bit lazy and I tried painting it instead, and the painting just did not turn out nice, so I had to go airbrush it, but then the airbrushing wouldn't work, so then I had to wipe it off and then paint it again or airbrush it. See, I should have just done it right the first time. Anywho, here's me getting those sharp edges on the fondant corners. Somebody had asked, what if they don't want sharp edges? I don't know. I've never really had anybody point it out and say, I want a rounded edge. So I always just make them sharp. And I guess most people follow me if they're going to purchase from me, so they see that most of my edges are sharp. When fondant cakes first came out, though, they were popular just being rounded. And I don't know who sat down and decided, I am going to make these edges sharp. I am going to make everybody struggle and make sharp edges for fondant. It's going to be a trend. And then ever since then, they just had to be sharp. Anyways, the wind was not having it with me today. It was so windy out there. And I airbrush outside because it gets everywhere in the house, you guys. And you will be wiping it down for weeks. It'll be in areas that you didn't even know it could land in. And I tried airbrushing in a box. It didn't work. Or under the vent. And that didn't work either. All right, on to the city Skylight. So I use a stencil and I just use buttercream. I know it's tricky with buttercream because it gets super soft. So what I do is I basically stencil it out, or, put the cream on the stencil, and then I swipe off the cream, and then the satisfying part, which wasn't as satisfying as I thought it would be, but that's okay. So here's the trick to how to make sure that that cream stays still since it's buttercream. So I cut along the outside edges, right? Giving the shape that I need. Being quite careful not to touch the cream because it's still super soft. I use my pen blade. That pen that you see me cutting with is called a pen blade. It's pretty awesome because it pops right back in. I think it's on my Amazon storefront. I do have an Amazon storefront. If you guys ever see stuff on here, most likely it'll be in the cake supplies of my Amazon storefront. Anywho, I pop that back in the freezer and let that cream harden, and then I put it on the cake, which you're going to see in a little bit. So I'm stacking this baby up, and yes, I do try to aim. I think I'm going to get like a bullseye or bullet eye. Bullseye, and maybe try aiming at it. That'll be so cool. That way, if anybody walks by, I could just aim it at their head or something, and then it can just smack them, and it'll be like, ba-bam! And then I could say, oops, sorry, I don't know where these things fly. It's not my fault. I didn't do it on purpose. Shh, I did do it on purpose. And then I'm going to put them in the cake. I do eyeball it because I know the top tier is a 6-inch and this bottom tier is an 8-inch. So I put 1 in the middle and 5 around. The straws I always use according to how many inches the top tier is. So if it's 5 inches, I use 5 straws. 6 inches, I use 6 straws. And then I kind of eyeball it around the cake. For those of you who don't want to eyeball it, you can put like a board, like a 6-inch board or something, and do the outline, and then make sure you put the straws in between. But this always works for me. So then I'm going to go ahead and add the cream for the glue, and then I'm going to put it, I cannot speak, I do apologize. I'm going to put the skewer for stability. And then I'm going to careful SpongeBob it out. Careful SpongeBob, careful SpongeBob, careful SpongeBob. Where is it? Where is this cake? Did I not edit this out? What the heck is going on? Why are we just staring at this? What do we, oh, there it is. There it is. It just made its way. Should I edit this out? You know what? Let's just keep it in there. It's funny. Have you guys waiting with me? Why should I be the only one who waits? La da da dee da 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 da. La da da dee. Oh, there we go. Okay, careful, SpongeBob. Careful, SpongeBob. Put it in through the hole, and there we go. I'm definitely keeping that in there. I'm not editing out. Editing. Okay. Time to put the Skyline. So you see me steaming it, okay? That's just a mini steamer for clothes. It helps to make the fondant sticky so that whatever I stick onto it, it sticks to it. All right, I took it out of the freezer. You have to work fast because the cream starts to melt and you don't want to mush the cream Skyline windows, which that was what was starting to happen. And I had to take it off and put it back on, but it wasn't working very good. And I'm like, gosh darn it, straight to heck. And I was cursing myself and I'm like, oh my God, don't touch it too much. Don't touch it. Be careful. And then I was like, you know what? This is just going to be the back of the cake. Because I did it again and I was like, this time I'm going to make sure it's nice. See, look how nice and quickly it went on. I didn't smush anything down. Love it. And now I'm going to add the logo. And then the age is going to be on the bottom part of the cake. And then all that stuff on top, which I didn't show you guys, I just put straws and then I inserted the wires in the straws. And this is what you end up with. Thanks guys for watching. I appreciate you.